Rotary, how we doing?
Good morning.
Mike Allen, there you are, already standing in the back.
As Rotarians, we are generally blessed with lives of relative luxury and comfort, and opportunities unknown to most in our world. Let us be mindful to set our priorities with the opportunity to help others clearly in mind. Let us open our hearts and our resources, including our knowledge, leadership, creativity, and financial resources, to those in need to make our communities better places for all its members. Please stand.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Of all the things that we do, think, and say,
Is it truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Chris. Whoa, settle down, guys.
I'll give you a cup.
Start yelling, I guess, I don't know.
Rowdy group this morning.
Oh, yes, Martha, Jeff, would you like to introduce your guest?
Who? Jeff?
Jeff.
I have a guess? No. Danielle? Over here. Yeah, I thought she was,
Not anymore.
Well done.
Joining
Sorry,
We put Jeff on the spot. Danielle is actually our newest, soon-to-be newest member. She's actually starting the 7-day process today. Her application's been through the board, and the letter, you'll see everything about her in an email in the next, probably today.
it's the truth, right?
That's a little scary.
Welcome her for hopefully the last time to do it.
Jeff, I have a returning guest, Charlotte Davis. Charlotte from the GB&T. Stand up, Charlotte. Come on.
Not a lot of room to talk to, Jeff.
That's right.
Yeah, really.
And Danielle, don't worry, our private investigators rarely turn up anything really bad, so things will be good. You'll be okay. Let's see, birthdays and anniversaries.
Yes, sir.
Let's hear it.
Up front. Good morning, Gate City. How's everybody? All right. We've got a couple things going today. We've got some club anniversaries. Did Ross Giller make it? Yeah, he's here. Yeah. Ross, where are you? Oh. There we are. Good morning. Good to see you over there, buddy. And you got a club anniversary today.
9? 11?
Must be the Big Ten. Big Ten. Way to go there, Ross. And Ken Kinka. Did Ken make it? He's not in his seat. Ken's been with us 3 years. And got some wedding anniversaries. Blake Hunt make it in today. I guess he is out preparing for his anniversary. He and his wife Lynn have been married 22 years. And we got some partner birthdays coming up. First on the list, Ralph Jones. I think your bride's got a birthday. Had a birthday?
She had one yesterday.
There you go.
And my daughter has one today.
Is that right? Oh, wow. If she were here, we could sing to her. All right, and Judy Brumley, did Judy make it in?
She's out of town.
No, not. Okay, Judy's not here. And Christian, here he is. Sweet Stephanie's got a birthday.
Yes, she does.
All right.
Saturday.
Don't forget.
I'm not.
All right. Boy. And that wraps it up, Mr. President.
Thank you, Rick.
You got it.
A couple of announcements. Today is a huge day for the district. It's the district golf tournament. We're setting up the Dream Team. And those of you that are here, please stand up that are playing in the golf tournament today. Come on, Dream Team, come on. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
And look at Dan
man. He's filling in for Bobby Richardson today. The flip-flops and the shorts.
Yeah, I like it. They've been working on strategy for weeks, practicing and getting lessons and working at it incredibly hard. So it's, I expect them to bring home the hardware. I'm going to be incredibly disappointed if they don't. It's going to be a huge fine. Let's see. And let's see. In full disclosure here, I did not bring a prize for Rotary trivia. Okay, so maybe you won't have to think as hard. In 1999, there was a human chain of children that got together to line up.
Here's a prize for you.
Hot dog, there we go. To support the fight against polio. How many kids? This is a multiple guess. Was it 5,000, 100,000, 300,000, or 3 million?
Where again?
What'd you say?
3 million.
I think it's right, Howard. 3 million kids. Here you go. Yeah. There you go. 3 kids. It's good.
There you go, Howard.
Did they do that Coca-Cola commercial
That kind of deal. Cheryl, you got an announcement for Community Housing Solutions?
All right, so as you guys know, Project Rebuild is coming up, and I'm sure Billy will mention that. But it's the 13th year of the 8 Rotary clubs in Greensboro working with Community Housing Solutions to repair 4 homes for low-income families. So appreciate you guys being involved in that. I am planning the breakfast for Community Housing Solutions. It's our annual ambassadors breakfast, and I would love to have Gate City there as an ambassador of the good work that we do in the community. The friend sponsor is $400 for 5 seats. The other 3 seats at the table of 8 would be for homeowners that are helped. So we'd love to get the homeowner that Gate City helps later with Project Rebuild in October to join 5 members from Gate City at a table. So think about it. Let me know if you guys would be interested in representing the club at that event. It's November 19th. It's a Tuesday morning out at the brand new Piedmont Hall, which is part of the Coliseum complex. So it's a great facility. It just opened last week, so it'll be your opportunity to see that as well.
Wow. Everybody get out your phone real quick, whatever you keep your calendar on. Go ahead and mark it now, or your, if you keep a little pad or whatever, some of the older guys. The district conference, say the date, April 24th to the 26th. Has everybody got that down already? Yeah.
It's like the 3rd week in April or something.
Something like the 3rd week in April, April 24th to the 26th. It's going to be in beautiful Myrtle Beach. We're all excited about that. Mike Conrad, do you have a presentation today?
Yeah.
And you can drive on the beach now, Myrtle Beach.
It's always a great day in Rotary when we have a Paul Harris Fellow. As you know, our club is Paul Harris, 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club, meaning everyone has contributed a minimum of $1,000 to our Rotary Foundation. And we are probably one of like 5 in all of the Rotary world that is 100%. And Paul Harris was a founder of Rotary in 1905. And this is a way to honor him. So we have many people in our club who have not only given $1,000, but above that amount. And today, I want to give Dan Quinn, he is a Paul Harris Fellow plus 8. Wow. So that means he has donated $9,000 to
Combined with the recognition by the district governor last week, Dan sent me an email this week and said, wouldn't it be appropriate if we renamed ourselves the Dan Quinn Rotary Club? The board is going to put that on the slate, but Dan, I'm not real hopeful. Let's see, football pool.
I don't know about changing the name of the Rotary Club, but I think for the right amount, we can make it a Dan Quinn football pool.
Something I know even less about.
So I need a little bit of help. When I do the worst score, on the tiebreaker, you know, it's always such a challenge because so many are competing for it. I always thought the way you do the tiebreaker is the person who wins would be the person who picked the wrong team and whose score was the furthest away from the actual score. So I'm going to do that unless there's a lot of protest. and it matters this week. And first I want to say thanks to Tom Nelson, Howard Driggers, Kelly Carroll, for bringing in additional swag. Really appreciate it. We've got plenty of great gifts now, and I'm very thankful for that. It was an interesting week, a bit of a roller coaster week. As I'll explain in a second. Does anyone need new additional sheets for this week? Okay. On the bottom, that's probably a bad choice of words. For those who were underscored, we had a real challenge between Lisa Simpson, Tony Villier, and Richard Needham, who was apparently trying to go from first to worst. I want to mention, Lisa, keep up the smiley faces because I get right in the middle of scoring these things. I'm really down about how you guys are doing, and it picks me up. So, the smiley face with the wine time. I forget what you said last week. I could have mentioned about you were so excited for wine time and football or something. Lisa picked Guilford College, Huntington won. Richard Needham picked Guilford College, Huntington won. Tony Villier, who I'm sure is still sleep deprived, picked Guilford College, Huntington won. They all had 12. I think the total point score was about 109 or something like that. Lisa had 57 points. Richard had 40 points. Tony had 29. So Tony, you're the low score this week. We have some games, all that kind of stuff. David, is the camera rolling? Okay, because this is really kind of the end of the roller coaster, and it ended on a bad note. Tony Krumeyer had donated some gifts. And he had said, Mike, I'm donating these gifts so that I could win the football. This week we had a lot of good players at 18, 17. With 19, Tony, you were actually the winner with 19 right, and he picked 42 points and Huntington. But as we know, you got to be here. You got to be present to win. Brian Kaiser. So Tony, you're out of luck. Brian, where's he? There he is, the winner with 19 right, 27 points in Huntington. You get a very, very nice hat. Compliments of Kelly Harrell and Brandover for your out.
Are there any other announcements? By the way, does anybody know the date of the Family of Rotary event in Wake Forest, Carolina? Well, I know the football game is, but I think there's a basketball game. Yeah, it's a doubleheader deal. I forgot to bring the sheet, so I'll send it out to the club. Somebody will.
One small quick announcement, your Hunka Hunka Burning Rub Pig Stock Barbecue team is coming together nicely. Have a short meeting at 8 o'clock right out here. And I do mean short, it won't last long. We're just going to decide when to have our first practice cook. Anybody who's interested, anybody who wants to cook, anybody who wants to help, please join us. We've sort of got our team starting to fill out here a little bit. And if a couple of people want to compete over a particular dish or something, no problem. One guy, I think Ross Dessert Man Geller back there, which is Geller with an E, no A, in it, right, Ross?
You got
He's going to compete against himself with 3 different desserts. So, so please stop in. November the 2nd is the actual date, and we'll have 1 or 2 other. Yeah, we're going to have a cook here either the 22nd or the 29th. The entire club is invited. We'll have it out at my house. And then we'll figure that out this morning. I'll get the notice out of the club. And we'll have 1 or 2 other practice cooks in October, depending on how the first one goes. So, anyway.
Mark?
Thank you.
Quick announcement. So, we've been having these Discover Rotary events in conjunction with the Crescent Club and E-Club. The next one will be next Wednesday. It's going to be hosted by Chip at the 505. It's actually hosted by the E-Club, but we're gonna do it at 505. So if you have anybody who's a prospective member, anybody interested, this is a very low-key, casual way.
Brent Works Bistro.
Brent Works Bistro.
Next Wednesday,
Next Wednesday, 505.
Got it.
So,
Any other, yep, Billy?
Real quick, we've got 3 people signed up so far, so we're still about 4 weeks out, but I'm gonna resend the link. So for Project Rebuild, it's the 4th and 5th. If you can't make it, you know you can't make it, go ahead and just sign up now and say that you're gonna be out of town, or just let me know so I can get a tally. But do please sign up now. I'm sending the link right now. You're gonna be there.
This is Project Rebuild.
Project Rebuild, yeah. So we've got 3 people for Fridays, how many people we have so far, so sign up now.
What was the date?
I'll send the link out.
What was the date?
October 4th and 5th, it's a Friday and a Saturday. We need, to make it work, we need 12 to 15 on Friday and 7 to 8 on Saturday. So
Great. Family members are welcome.
family members are welcome.
Absolutely.
And I will mention too, if they can't get on a roof, there's other things they can do.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of cleanup on the ground that takes place. They're handing up nails, handing up materials. So there's more that you can do if you can't get on a roof. There's more that can be done. So sign up and come out.
Bobby Christensen may work again without a shirt on too.
hey now, hey now.
All right.
I promise there's no errors on this one. The council was gracious enough to point out that San Francisco, this was not to be a trick question. San Francisco is actually playing Cincinnati and not Detroit. And I know that affects all of your picks. So, go ahead and
Okay. Thanks for clarification. Grandpappy Quinn, I think, has the.
Yeah, we're into the CT, so happy dollars.
Happy dollars.
Hi.
So I'm heading up to the Big Blue Nation tomorrow for the Parents Weekend, Kentucky play in Florida. We do not have tickets to the football game, and I heard they're $150 each, so I will be watching at the bar. But my daughter's been gone about 2 weeks. We just cleaned up the mess she left. But very smart here. I picked Florida in the pool because I know that'll make Kentucky wins.
I see money, Ron.
Yeah. So Mary Catherine's over in Ireland, and talked to her, FaceTime with her the other day, and said, well, what's been your most Irish encounter, culture? And she, without missing a beat, she said, oh, it happened the other day. I was getting at the Verizon store, getting a SIM card for her Irish number, and she was giving her regular number to the rep that was helping her, and she, said it to him, and he said, okay, so is there 2 trees or 3 trees in that number? And she was like, excuse me? She said, and he said, were there 2 trees or 3 trees? And she said, oh, there were 2 3s. And he said, no, 2 trees or 3 trees? And she was like, 2 trees. And he said, oh, okay. He said, it was really weird. You're in Ireland. But anyway, that was the most Irish moment.
Next week or the following week, I hope to do a makeup behind what was the former Iron Curtain. We are leaving for Budapest on Saturday. Some friends of ours, we're going for 2 weeks up the Danube River, through Austria, Slovakia, Czech Republic, into Germany, and then to Prague. And there's this band that I know that might be on the ship with us, so we're looking forward to it. Hope to report on a cool makeup when I get back.
Cool. Gail, I see money?
Quick Rose and Victoria update. I'm sure a lot of you can think back to when your child was applying to college. Some are still going through that too, but just pray for me. The list is only 14 schools long, so narrow that down a little. So that's keeping her busy. And Victoria, it's been so much fun to watch her. I think you all know they played soccer since they were like 4. And she's taken on field hockey and absolutely loves it. She's been asked to play at varsity and actually scored yesterday.
All right.
Steve, I got you in the back.
I had the pleasure this past weekend of volunteering for the 4th year for the North Carolina Folk Festival, and it's just absolutely remarkable the when you really see the diversity of our community, it's incredible. Of course, the music is great and the venues are all really good, but just seeing what really makes up Greensboro is astounding and thoroughly enjoyable.
Yes, sir.
I'll echo, I also had a chance, along with Eloise, to volunteer along with, to host 100,000 or so of our closest friends. It really is a special thing that this community has really embraced in the last couple of years, and to be a part of and to give of yourself. And speaking of giving of yourself, as many of you know, yesterday being the 18th anniversary of what happened to our country on September 11th. Our club was about 10 years old when it hit in 2001. And for you newer members, just so you'll know, many folks in here are already veterans. I want to give this happy dollar in honor of my daughter, Molly Hassel, First Lieutenant, who is now currently serving in harm's way in the U.S. Air Force as a First Lieutenant. But for those of you also newer to the club, the flag that we salute and pledge allegiance to every week was given to us shortly after September 11th, after it had been flown over the Capitol by our old friend Congressman Howard Coble. So I'm always mindful of that occasion when yesterday comes and goes as a reminder for all of us as to what is required of us in service to our country and thoughts thereof.
Well, we realized we hadn't heard from Waller in a day or two, and so I sent him a text from lunch yesterday. Ran into his barber. You did that part? Okay. His barber and another friend, and they said, well, you know, check on Waller, see what's going on. I said, hey, man, we hadn't heard from you in a few days. Ron and Linwood want to know what you're up to. And he said, just work, Dad, just work. I said, is this the kid that complained about only taking 4 classes? He said, yeah, Dad, but they are killing me. I know now why they call it grad school up here. Anyway, he's taking environmental law and policy, corporate strategies for environmental management, and 2 other things, and then in one, and a statistics class. And he said he has not been to bed before 2 a.m. any night in the last 2 weeks. He's up reading and whatnot. So grad school is
Whatnot. That's what we called it too, whatnot.
Last night at dinner, y'all saw my son, my 18-year-old, speak the other day real briefly. He said, Dad, it's a pretty cool group for a bunch of old people.
That's the way we roll. Dale?
Yeah, Kelly gave me $1 and said to say something nice, and I've been pondering that. But one thing did kind of strike me. I want to thank Tom for having Bob Crummore here with that Bikes for Kids program. I thought that was awesome. We got a lot of kids right here in Guilford County that are in a bad way, and we can help and pay now, or we will all pay later. You know, and I like the fact that they're not just looking at a handout. They're teaching these kids that nothing comes for free. You got to work for it. So trying to break the cycle of poverty and entitlement, I think, is great. And I would suggest to the board that maybe we get a work group together to put bikes together. I think Rob sent out an email, what, a couple of days ago about that?
Yep.
It's coming.
It's coming.
All right. Well, when Grandpappy retired, he got a job. Well, Grandmama said he needed to get a job because 2 days at home was enough. So he volunteered at the hospital for a few years, and one day the girl came in and she was obviously getting ready to have a baby, and Grandpappy was trying to help her and got to the elevator, and she had the baby in the elevator. And baby was fine, mom was fine, everything, but the mother was really upset, and Grandpappy said, what's the problem? She said she was a bad mother, that she couldn't get to the hospital in time to have a baby properly and whatnot.
Whatnot?
And whatnot. That's how you have babies, whatnot.
I was wondering what that was.
So Grandpappy was trying to make her feel better. She said, look, no, there was a lady 2 years ago, she came here, she's a bad mother. She had her baby out in the front lawn, and the girl goes, I know, it was me.
All right, guys, we got a special speaker today. It's my stepbrother. I asked him to send me a bio. Nothing yet. Here we are. I can tell you it started off when we were probably 9 years old when I pushed him down the steps. There's been an argument for 45 years if that's the case, or if he pushed me down the steps. But anyway, I do want to thank these guys for coming because they're IT guys, and as you know, they kind of
they laughed when Wilder said 2 in the morning. They both kind of smirked at each other like that's an early night. They like to work through the night. But Phil's a graduate of Appalachian State. He's married to his beautiful wife Stephanie. Has a stepdaughter Kelsey and his daughter Evan, who goes to school with my son. Phil's had 3 careers, I guess. One at Oakland Homes, where we've kind of followed similar paths, but he was in their upper management there, and then he went into the mortgage business went into the mortgage business, I guess, around 2000. Got out of it in 09. I guess you can imagine why. And he's been in the IT business ever since. Very proud of him, and what he's doing is a real, it could be a Rotary initiative. It's great for the community, and I guess you're going to be talking about that a good bit. So please welcome Phillip Bishop. All right.
Well, I appreciate everyone here letting me spend a few moments. Hopefully won't be too long. Again, my name is Phillip Bishop. I am the owner of Computer Repair of Greensboro. We do repair, service, on-site support. I see several customers in the room. As Ralph mentioned, we had a mortgage company in 2000, and it went through 2009. And probably like a lot of people in the room, my legs got swept out from under me. And all of a sudden, I was out of a job. And because I was the extended family guy that knew how to hit the WPS button on a router, I thought it would be a good idea to start a computer business. No education in it, no certifications at the time. Didn't know much about it. I just liked computers. It just made sense to me. So started studying, got a couple basic certifications, and then started the business.
If you need any help, we've got a pretty extensive IT setup.
You get that to work, you are.
I know I've been in IT since I've done a PowerPoint.
Looks like WPS key when you need it.
Anyway, so Computer Repair Greensboro, we do service, networking and repair for small business, and primarily residential, actually. It's kind of shifted. Started out at probably 60-40 small business, 40% residential. And that has shifted over the years for whatever reason. We do not handle server environments, and I have a referral partner that I send that business to. But we do any kind of break fix, any kind of motherboard work, micro soldering, tablet repair, anything to do with that. That's not why I'm here. I mean, why I'm here is to sell you on using my business. It has to do with computers, but not exactly, in the traditional fashion. So we have a pretty simple mission. There's 2 parts. What I found in the mortgage business and my corporate career before that is that typically companies that do really well serve the customer at any cost. And so our mission is that we have 100% customer and client satisfaction. We're deadline driven, no excuses. We place the utmost importance on creating and maintaining raving fan customers. I'm sure most everybody's read that book at some point. We take responsibilities for our mistakes. We do not argue with customers. If they are unhappy with our service, we apologize, we make it right, or we refund their money. That is a non-negotiable for me and anybody that works with me. Just don't do it. And it's one of the reasons that I got into the business. It's because of the customer service I experienced when I went out to computer shops or have my computer repaired or whatever. It just wasn't a pleasant experience for me. And our second part of our mission is that we will serve our community by providing quality, free computers to people in need through local area, neighborhood, and church donation drives. And we will share profits with local charities. So that's Computer Repair Greensboro. Started there in 2010 in my house. Still there today. And that is 4,500 customers later. We are the highest ranked and most reviewed company on Google. In Yelp's top 10 IT businesses in Greensboro, we are number 1. We have 138 Google reviews with a 4.9999 rating. And of course, 5 stars on Yelp. I saw something yesterday that said, and I'm not sure, I didn't look too much into it, but it was, they were doing the top 3 of everything. I don't know if anybody else happened to see that in their email, but we were listed as the number 1 in front of Computer Warehouse in North Carolina and then Computer Troubleshooting. So I like to tell customers, don't let the home, or the fact that we work from home, fool you. Got 3 contract techs, a part-time guy that helps me with some stuff at my home. But we've got every piece of equipment that anybody has that does this business. So, you know, I'm extremely proud of that for literally not knowing anything when I opened the company. But we started about 2 or 3 months ago, and this had been something I wanted to do for a long, long time. Is I told my wife that I thought that used computers or pre-owned, certified, refurbished computers had a real place in the market. I believe that 5 years ago. I believe it today. I'm living it today. So one day, I just 2 months ago, put out an ad on our Nextdoor app. I assume everybody knows what Nextdoor is. There's some crazy stuff on Nextdoor, but there's some good stuff on Nextdoor. And we basically said, hey, I know just about everybody in this room, just about everybody in our neighborhood has an old computer in a closet, under a bed, that they're not using it. It's just pretty much a fact. And the way I know that is because I've been in several thousand houses doing work, and I see computers sitting there. And then the next year when I go back, I see that same computer sitting. And I always ask them, what are you going to do with that? Oh, we'll probably, you know, we're going to hold on to it. I said, okay. Well, who knows what this is? Now, if you got IT guys in here, don't answer. Hard drive. Hard drive. It is a hard drive, but it is also the #1 reason people don't get rid of old computers. Okay? They either don't feel comfortable opening it up and taking the hard drive out of the computer, or they're afraid that it's going to be compromised if they, you know, give it away, take it to the dump, throw it away, or whatever. That their personal information will be compromised. So my idea was, okay, that's fine. If you'll at least get on board with us, you know, we'll come to your house, and I will take the hard drive out of any computer you have in front of you. Okay? And I'll give it to you right there. Now, there is no other piece of equipment or any mechanism in a computer of any type that records personal information of yours other than these hard drives. This is a notebook hard drive for a 2.5 inch. This is what goes in most desktops, although you're seeing more of these with the newer technology, those sizes and everything. And so, Josh and I have just started working. I have started hiring some people in anticipation of this ramping up. And it went pretty daggone good right out of the gate. We had calls and texts and, you know, people hearing about it or whatever, you know, oh, I'd love to know that. Well, our plan was, it's changed a little bit. At first, it was to focus primarily on, when we get a donated computer, it goes into one of 3 buckets. We look at it, we assess it, and it either says it can't be used, okay? It can be refurbed and donated, or it can be sold. And when we talk about what we do as far as refurbing it, it is my standard and our standard that that computer comes completely apart and every part must be removed from the computer. We put new solid state drives in every computer that is donated, either 4 gigs or 8 gigs of RAM minimum, even in the ones that are donated, and that is out of my pocket. And we make them, and then we go through a detailed process. There's a 10-point checklist. There's 5 on the front that have to happen, they're non-negotiables, and there's 5 on the back, you know, post-repair. We're the only people that sell used computers that I'm aware of that offer up to a year warranty on some of their stuff, and that is bumper to bumper. Anything happens to it in a year, we will either fix it or replace it. That's how confident we are in the refurb process. So, people started calling. I guess that tells me I was talking too long on that slide. You know, rather than give them to us, there are some common uses. One, you can use it as a boat anchor, okay? Two, it can be third base if you need it to be. And the old trusty doorstop. We hear it all when we go into folks' home about collecting donations. That's a note when people want to give that one to us, okay? And that, Ralph actually tried to donate that. So that came to Circuit City probably in about 96, something like that, I guess. We can't take those. We don't take anything older than 2008, preferably as we move into 2019, 2009. And it's not that we're thumbing our nose at the older computers, it's just what we need to do with them to be able to donate them. Can't be done on stuff that's pre-2008, or it makes it more difficult. But something like this, which my man here absolutely loves, he made me put this in a slideshow, is a Lenovo T500. They're just old business machines, kind of clunky and heavy. Those will take all day long, okay? They're durable, the chassis on them are good. So we got a bunch of them, and I had a bunch of techs, and I would pay them not by the hour, but by, based on my experience, what I thought the job should take, okay? Now, this is kind of a wing and a prayer at this point, because I don't know, what's going to happen. But I knew that it didn't take 5 hours to switch out a battery. It didn't take an hour to switch out a motherboard. So I allocated a certain amount of time, keep cost in line. And about 2 weeks after we started this thing, we were able to give 2 to Malachi House, which I'm a big fan of them, always have. And it was odd that the first day that I kind of again, I've been thinking about it for five years probably. And the first day I decided to do it, Andre, who is the fundraising guy there at Malachi House, happened to call me out of the blue and said, do you have 2 computers that we could use, or we could have? And I said, no, but we're going to. And so he was the first stop I made. And we gave 2 to him, 2 really solid computers. He loves his. They literally were doing intake at Malachi House with no computers. So we try to focus on underfunded nonprofits or underprivileged folks in the community that I just may know personally that don't have computers. Some of the work that I've done on site has been with elderly people that don't use smartphones. If they have a cell phone, it's usually a flip phone. It doesn't allow them the same type of access that we all have. You know, to be cut off is to be, you know, without hope, in my opinion. Family Service of the Piedmont was the next donation. That's my daughter on the left, and probably CEO of something one day. It's the smartest kid I've ever met in my life on the right. Joe,
You're like your mom. Oh. You're talking about your daughter. Like that. She's like her mother.
Yeah, well, yeah, my daughter is like, I mean, my wife. But this kid was unbelievably brilliant in just the way his mind worked. He had never taken apart a laptop before or whatever, and I put a box of parts in front of him one day. Just a laptop, no organization to it at all. Screws were all over the place, and I said, have at it. In about 40 minutes, he had it done to a T without watching a video, without doing anything. He could set it in front of him and just see it. And Josh will tell you, that's a 4-hour job for me. Seriously, sad as that is, but it's a 4-hour job. So I laid out 2, and I said, well, you won't get to this second one today. And he had that done, you know, again, probably an hour and a half he had done 2. So he was a good kid, but too bad he is back in school. And the next was Greensboro Housing Coalition, and this is just like a week ago. And believe it or not, and kind of what I asked you guys to help us with, number 1, I mean, odds are that 75% of you have a computer at home that you can get rid of. We would love to have it. We will take the hard drive out in front of it. You don't have to bring it to us, we'll come to you and do that. This was an interesting case. They had a young lady who had apparently come from a really bad situation a year prior. Had gotten back into get her GED, and we had actually made my daughter make donation calls one day that she loved, and said, I need you to give me 2 donations. But anyway, this young lady called me back and said, you know, that's crazy. We were just talking about it. Yes, we have a need for a computer. And so, and I did get the okay to put this on her. But that is, that's a genuine smile of somebody trying to start anew. And I wasn't there typically, especially like at Family Services of Piedmont with abuse victims and people that are going through transitions. We don't meet them, we don't see them, but I do get letters. We get letters from both the families who help at Family Services of Piedmont. And I was told that she was just ecstatic because she had gotten her GED and now is going to GTCC and really made some changes in her life. That's awesome. So what happens to the ones we don't donate? Well, there are some, and my favorite story is a guy Weren't you there that day with Lewis? Or no? No, I told you about it. So a guy walks in, and he has this insane HP laptop. I mean, one of the coolest laptops I've seen. And he said, hey, you know, do you fix computers? And yes, we do. And he goes, that's cool. He goes, you know, this one, my mom's IT guy said is just trash. And I said, well, what do you mean trash? It looks perfect. And he said, no, they said it was trash. He said, I'd like to give it to you. So I'm thinking, okay, something's not right. It was at least $1,500 new, and it was 6 months old or something. It wasn't stolen, okay? Because we get those. I mean, we don't take those. We get those. But he said, no, you know what? I don't need it. And I said, are you here because of the donation program? He said, no, I didn't know about that. So I briefly told him what we did. And he said, well, you know what? Here, you can have it. You know, and I said, man, we can fix it for nothing. I mean, literally nothing. He said, no, you can have it. And I want you to take the proceeds, because the last part of this equation is if you donate a computer that goes into the selling pool, then you get to choose a charity that you want to, and we will give 25% of our profit to that charity. So you can choose whatever charity it is. The donated ones, you can choose that too, or if you have a strong preference. But believe it or not, one of the challenges I'm having is finding nonprofits to take used computers. And I think because they think junk. I mean, you know, like somebody's dumping them there and want them to use them. But we're working on that, and they're getting the checklist that we go through, and I sign off on them and certify them and grade them and stuff. And, so that's going to change. But anyway, this is just a cabinet I've got in my house that is pretty striking when you walk into somebody's home. You know, we've got all this equipment, and yeah, it's in my dining room, living room. That isn't, but where we work. And you see these, and these are fantastic computers. 3 or 4 of those carry year warranties on them. 6-month warranty, 3-month warranty. And again, 25% of the proceeds go to charity of your choice. So, in our first month of doing this, that is the checks that I wrote last week for just the proceeds from the sales to the charities that the people have chosen. And that was everything from their church, or the kid that gave us a nice computer was like $172 or something, check in his name, you know, on his behalf, written to us. But we almost raised $600. And what I tell people is this: we did this off of garbage, because that's what it is. If it's in your house last year, you're not using it this year. That's just the facts. It doesn't happen. If it was in 2 years ago, not going to use it this year either. We'd like an opportunity for you guys to spread the word. It's a fantastic cause, and there's a lot of people that need it. So I have left my cards out there on the table as you exit. Feel free to grab one. Give me a call, text me. I'm happy, Josh is happy. Tony is happy to come pick it up, take the hard drive out in front of you, and we'll be done. And if you've got other stuff there that doesn't meet our thing, you know, doesn't meet the age requirement, we're going to take that away for you too. I mean, just as a courtesy, we do. Okay? So that's all I've got, and I appreciate the time.
Guys, I can't think of an easier way to, you know, make a donation and also, you know, take care of little headaches around your house. I would ask you for some know, some kind of background football route, but it's so much out there already.
No, we don't want to go there. I'll start slinging the other.
That's all right, so please pick up a card on your way out, and see you guys next week. Oh, God, draw, yeah, sorry, drawing for the cards. Yeah, Phil, your card. Can't do it, I forgot. Pull the card, read the last four numbers.
Last four.
Yeah.
4945. Please pick up.